Professor Joyce Tarantino, and this is Office Hours. Today I want to talk about your Canvas page and specifically your syllabus. And this is something that I think a lot of students overlook, and it's really important when you take a class. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's look at the syllabus. This is really important, and students don't think that it is. And here's a thing about syllabi. We have to write them for every class, but the longer we teach, the more refined our syllabi are based on things that students have struggled with or did that we didn't expect. So then we have to add a rule. A good example is that I had a student once, I gave an assignment and they had to do a video with something to do with a sign or that they saw or found or whatever. And so this one student stole a stop sign, and I didn't think to say in the assignment, don't do anything illegal to do this assignment. So little things like that come up that you just didn't expect when you first start teaching. So anyway, point is read the syllabus. It also tends to bite you in the butt when you don't read the syllabus because you're responsible for it, whether you read it or understand it or remember it or not. It's a contract. And so at the end of the semester, when you're scrambling, if you haven't been checking the syllabus periodically, kind of rereading it, it can come back and cause you problems. And there's nothing you can do about it. And honestly, there's not a lot the professor can do about it. We have rules we have to follow too. So we might really care. A lot of times we do really care. And there's still nothing we can do in certain circumstances after the fact. So what is the class? It's kind of good to know that, but periodically I get a student who thinks it's a creative writing class. It's really disappointing when they find out it's not. Here's the information. Where's your office? When do you have office hours? I don't have these things. I just make appointments now because I'm online. That's important to know. How to contact me, the best way to view the course. So for instance, if you don't know this, Canvas is better on a PC. You can look at it sometimes on your phone, but you will miss stuff. It is not set up well. And you might not know that. So I'm telling you so that you do know that. It's a really good idea to check it on a PC at least once a week. And then it says why this class is harder online than face-to-face. And that's important to know. So I tell students, don't take this class when you are really busy because writing is an intensive class and it's hard. Writing's hard for everybody, which is disappointing to learn, but it's what it is. Also, in my particular class, I only give notes on the drafts that are on time. And otherwise you can come see me and that's fine. There's a lot of different things. I get a lot of emails begging me for rewrites or to turn in work late. Well, I already accept work late without a penalty and I allow rewrites on almost everything. So if a student asks me that, I know they didn't read the syllabus. So go check the syllabus before you ask your professor a question. We don't mind answering questions, but we have it there for you. So do that. And then there's some notes on mine that are helpful. College description is the official thing. Course materials, you have to have those things. What you are supposed to be learning is really important too. So read it. I know that's boring, but read it anyway. And then there's some things that show, what are the assignments? This is what they're worth. This is how I calculate grades. I drop a grade in certain circumstances. Different things like that that you need to know for the class, and you can go back and look at this information anytime you want. Back in the day when I was in school, we had physical syllabi, and if we'd lose it a lot and then didn't have a copy anymore. So this is awesome. Or we had it, but we had no idea where it was. You can do hypothetical grades on Canvas in case you didn't know that. You can just plug in things, see what happens. If I get this grade on this, what will happen to my final grade? The late policy and rewrites, different things I want you to remember, student responsibility and resources on campus. There's a lot of information on here that is super helpful actually, but you have to look at it, okay? So make sure you go on Canvas and see what the syllabus says and what the class is about in detail, it will totally make a big difference in the way your semester goes.